Sometimes life happens and everything you planned goes out the window. This was my week a few weeks ago, and well, it wasn't supposed to be like this, but I got sick on Monday, so I never even set up my week. And I was under the weather the whole week, and well, I had a few things to remember on Sunday, but otherwise I just dropped everything. But actually, getting things done helped me even when I was sick. I mean, you tend perhaps to think of it as a productivity system, but it also, as I've been harping on about, it helps when you want to rest, when you want to prioritize and not do everything, act on every idea you have. It helps, to carve out that time that you don't do tasks on. Sorry, that was ungrammatical. But, GTD is good even when you don't want to do stuff because you can prioritize, you can you can see what is most pressing, what I really need to do, what can I cancel, what can I delegate, and so on. So when I was really ill and couldn't even get out of bed, I could still check my next action lists and see, what things can I cancel? What things do I need to delegate to someone else because they need to be done this week, and I can't do them. And so there were a few meetings that I cancelled. There were a few meetings that needed to be held by someone. So I called a colleague and informed the people I was going to have this meeting with that they could contact this other person. And, just sent out emails from my phone because I couldn't sit up in bed. So, I couldn't use my computer. That's how sick I was. Just sent out emails to say, you can't count on me this week. And you can see week 19 is just nothing. But as I said, GTD really helped. And it helped last week when I wanted to get back on the horse. When I needed to get back to inbox 0 and just pick up the slack. But what I noticed when I needed to, because normally I do get to inbox 0, but during the week I was sick, the emails piled up, and I sort of noticed a pattern of how I got back to inbox 0. I noticed a pattern of actions I needed to take to get back to inbox 0. There were lots of emails that wanted to book meetings. So I either put dates, suggested dates in the calendar, or I filled in a doodle when they had several suggestions. And in order to, sometimes when there were several suggestions and I filled in a doodle, I can do this time. I filled in those times in pencil in the calendar because otherwise, you might book something else when you've said that you were available. Then there were emails with questions with easy answers, and I just replied to them and deleted them. The goal is to delete them, of course. Then there were more difficult questions that I needed to sort of research something before I got back to them. And in those cases, I sent an email saying, I have received this, I'm on the case, I'll get back to you before, this date or before long or something. And when I said a date, in my reply, I put the deadline on the calendar. And I also put the thing I needed to check and get back to them about, I put in my next action list for computer stuff. So I could delete that. Then I think perhaps the most difficult one that the type of email that is most difficult to know what to do with is the type that contains reference material, I think. But I have begun to copy the whole email and save it in a Word document in a folder that has to do with the thing. For example, if people send out information about, a meeting you're going to have, or information about a coming course you're going to give, don't forget that these people, blah, 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 they need these things for this course. And those emails are sort of, in the past, I found it difficult to know what to do with them because it's not always an action involved, it's just information. But I have, as I said, I've created this habit where I copy everything, store it in a Word document in a folder to do with the project. And since I know I do this, I know where to look for the information. So I give those documents a very descriptive name. And sometimes the name is sort of emailing back and forth with so-and-so about so-and-so. Because I know I will remember that, we emailed about this, and what did we end up deciding? And I look for a document that I've named emailing back and forth. And then sometimes some of the emails I got were meeting links, and I have a special folder for that in my email system. I just drag them to that folder, and that's where I look when it's time to have a meeting.